G'day guys, welcome to the B&B Roadmap. This channel is dedicated to providing you guys with a bunch of value for running a successful short-term holiday rental. This video is going to show you how to set up an Airbnb profile. To get started, create an Airbnb profile with your email, phone number, date of birth, etc. And then they'll ask you to confirm your email. Once you've done all that, you're brought to this screen, which is what you see if you're a potential traveler looking to stay somewhere. Now, what we want to do is set up our own listing. So you come up to the right-hand side and set up Airbnb, your home. So click. We're brought to this screen here. It brings up your geographical location to give you a bit of an idea on what other homes are getting in the area. Obviously, mine will be different to yours. I'm based in South Australia on the Yorke Peninsula. I manage 22 holiday rentals, soon to be 24. And we're also superhost status, so obviously my rates are going to be different to yours. Anyway, moving on. Click on Airbnb setup at the top right-hand side. Then click Get Started. Next, tell us about your place. So you brought to this screen here. What are you planning to put on Airbnb? Is it a bed and breakfast? Do you have a yacht that's moored? Camper van that's reasonably newish? They've been doing that. Container home, dome. Anyway, go through here and pick the one that's most applicable to you. But just in this video, I'm going to choose house. So you've got a couple of options here. This is a bit self-explanatory. You choose the entire place, a room or a shared room. In this instance, I'm going to be choosing an entire place. So I'm just going to make an address up here in Adelaide, 1 Main Street. Hopefully it comes up. All right, let's just go with that one. 1 Main Street, Mawson Lake, South Australia. So it says here, if you want to show your specific location, I don't like to do that for security purposes. Again, this is up to you. Everything on this video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice or anything along those terms. So do everything at your own risk, but I don't like to show the exact location because people can see when and where it's located, and when it's also vacant. So I always leave that off. Is the pin in the right spot? So you can drag that to where you think it's probably more accurate. Let's just say, yep, it's in the right spot. Continue on to the next. Okay, so how many people did your home sleep? 4, 5. For this instance, I'm just going to say 6, and it's going to be a 3-bedroom. How many beds are there? So you might have 3 rooms, 2 might be a queen, and another room might have 2 singles. But in this instance, we're going to have 3 beds, and they're going to be 3 queens. We'll talk about that a bit later. 2-bathroom home. You obviously adjust all these settings to suit your property. Once you're done there, click next. Make your place stand out. Rightio. So this is where you're going to add some amenities plus 5 or more photos. You can add your title and description. All right, so we've got free Wi-Fi at the property. We've got a washing machine, air conditioning, kitchen, TV, free parking. What else have they got down here? I've got a barbecue grill. Got smoke alarms. Always want to have these safety features at your property. Smoke alarm, first aid kit, fire extinguisher, carbon monoxide, only applicable if you've got gas appliances and other devices in the home that can potentially create carbon monoxide. Let's just say everything's electric in the property and that's not required. So we'll just click next. Add 5 photos. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly add some dummy photographs here. So these are just images of Pixabay, guys. They're not images of any properties we manage. I'll create a bit of a short tutorial a bit later on down the track on how to utilize and how to take good photography just from using your iPhone and how to retouch it. But it's a tutorial in itself, so I won't cover that just yet. Okay, sorry, my internet's a bit average here, but what you can do in this area here, there we go, finally came around, you can change your cover photo. And you can also edit the details. So you add your caption here. So you put master bedroom. Oops. It's the bedroom. And you can even edit some of the, lighting and brightness, etc. I don't like to edit in here because it's just not as good as doing it in other methods, but up to you. Again, have a look at the other video, which when I put it out. So we'll just click save. So now we've got the proper caption of that image. So when people come to your profile, you can be more descriptive. So you can be master bedroom, queen size bed, um, bedroom two, double bedroom. Sorry, these pictures aren't loading, guys, but you can get the drift. And then you can show kitchen, caption them very accurately, so it's easy for guests to understand and see what's in each space. The house title. So there are ways to write really good and descriptive house titles. You don't want to be too bland and you don't want to be me too-ish. You want to be slightly descriptive. So let's say this property is it's a 3-bedroom home on quiet street with see I got 31 characters, sorry. 3-bedroom home on quiet street. Oh, let's just go 3-bedroom home with CUs. You can actually edit this a little bit better later on, and I'll show you how to do that. This is the automated onboarding that they push you through the steps. Then once you've clicked, you're right at the end of here and you click done, you can actually take it to a more detailed area, which again, I will run through it with you, so don't panic. All right, let's describe the homes. All right, it's stylish, it's spacious, and it is peaceful. Okay, sorry, choose two. You can add more later on again. Um, I like to create a few sentences and get quite descriptive with the property and then use Chat GPT. But if you're quite a good writer, you can write all this yourself. So you really want to take your time and be very descriptive and alluring and think about your prospective customer that's going to come to the property. So if let's say it's a 2-bedroom shack, just as a 2-bedroom shack close to the beach, that would suit couples and small family of 4. So in this case, this home's a 3-bedroom, centrally located, great for families and couples. So freshly renovated, charming 3-bedroom home close to nearby supermarket, markets and walking distance to the beach. Ideal for traveling couples and small families. This house is fully equipped with comfortable bedding and air conditioning. It's so many questions about air conditioning and what are the beds like. So always put those items in there, something that a potential guest wants to come and read and you'll lure them into. So you can go up to 500 characters here. You can go further on the back end, which I'll show you a bit later. But look, you get the gist of it for the description. If you're a BYO linen, you don't have those sort of facilities. You do have to put it in here so that your guests are very aware of it. Let's say you have limited no on home. So you require your guests to sign an agreement, for example, a rental agreement, which we do. So we have agreement applies. So there's no surprises. Again, that's probably a bit more advanced for what you guys will be worrying about. But if you do anything that's specific that's not included, it's always good to add it briefly into the description. It just covers you if they try and seek a refund to say that, oh, I thought linen was included. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't add it on my profile. I also mentioned in the description. It just covers your backside, so you have grounds to refuse the refund. Anyway, moving on. That's the description. Get as detailed and do really well with it. finish and publish. We're nowhere near done yet. This is just the um, automated step by step that Airbnb have when you first get started, but it's a lot more to do on the back end. Use Instant Book. Okay, Instant Book is as it sounds. You allow guests to, without too much history, that are able to instantly book, come into your property. Yes, it has its benefits in terms of getting extra bookings. However, you can't screen the guests. So if you've got a beautifully renovated, brand new home, brand new furnishings, this scares me because you can just let any type of person into the home, whether they're young party goers and they're going to have a party, with no reviews on their profile, straight into your brand new home. They have a big party and everything's damaged, and you're not going to have a great time. We run all of our 22 properties on approval decline request. So we screen every single guest. With Instant Book, you can set some parameters where they have to have government issued ID and some other quality control measures there, but it's not nearly as good as having approval decline requests. So that's what we like to go with. I will leave this decision entirely up to you, but that's the two options. Okay, so you can, this is like, again, this is request to book. So you can allow them to any Airbnb. So if they're new, they can come through here. If they're an experienced guest, that's what we prefer. But we can also do this because we still have the availability to actually screen them. So we're able to do that and still make a pretty good guess on what they're going to be like. Okay, now set your price. So this can be changed on the back end later on. So let's just say you want a base price of $200. Your payout will be $193. It's about, they take about 17%. So I don't like to bother with these. You can, if you're really hungry to get bookings. We figure that people are going to book anyway. So, yeah. And I don't like early bird specials anyway, either. Again, personal preference. You do as you like. Um, this is self-explanatory. Security cameras is you can have them on site, but you definitely cannot put them in bedrooms inside the home's a massive no-no. Quite a common one are doorbell cameras. They're quite common, and ones that are just facing at the garage and the driveway, they're common. Anything other than that, you're going to come into some privacy issues. So be very careful where you put your cameras, and always refer back to Airbnb's T's and C's. All right, review your listing. So here we go. We'll click on this. Shows you a very basic preview. Again, this is just a basic rundown of what we're going to do with this, but I'll show you what it looks like on the back end where you're going to spend most of your time managing your listing. So click next. Yay, good for us. We're got our listing up. Brings you back to this screen. Okay, so you've got to verify your identity. So you're probably you're going to have to upload. Let's click on it. Let's show you what they require. So your government ID. So probably your driver's license, whatever other card they require, and you go through the verification process. I'm not going to do that for you today, but I just will show you. This is self-explanatory. So add your phone number, click continue. They'll send you a text message. You click a link, and once those items are confirmed, you can proceed with the rest of your listing. So if you click on listings, click on finish. Let's see. Okay. So this is where you're going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. This is the back end. Once you've clicked on your listings, click here, you click on with see views, you come over here. Sorry, click on three bedroom home CV. So that this is where you can change your title. So see how it went from in the onboarding, it said 32 only. Now it goes up to 50. So that's where you can say charming three bedroom. I like to use abbreviations BR bedroom home with C views on quiet. Oh, let's see if we'll make it. Oh, perfect. Charming three bedroom home with sea views on quiet street. So that is a great title. It's alluring, it's descriptive. Oh, they've got sea views on it's a quiet street. That's perfect for me. I don't like noise. You can edit your description down here. So once you're done, sorry, just hit save. Listing description. This is where I mentioned you can go and talk about in more detail about the listing space. So once you've tapped out on total amount of characters in this area, if you're very detailed and descriptive and you get a bit worried, well, don't worry about it. You can go to your heart's content here in the listing space. You talk about what's at the property in terms of, oh, we've got a reverse cycle air conditioning. The kitchen's fully equipped with microwave, electric oven, rice cooker, toaster. The kids can enjoy board games. There's a surfboard at the property that you're welcome to use. It complimentary tea and coffee provided. Everything that guests might want to know about the home and what you provide, put it in here and be as detailed as possible. Which parts of the space are we at? So you can just put in the entire home. Other details, you might want to talk about the local neighbourhood, like three doors down, there's a house being built. There might be slight disruptions during business hours, general work hours or whatnot. You can mention this if you're going to be around to help them. You should always be around via message, but I don't tend to put those details in there. I just interact directly via messages. But again, up to you. Here, if you can always adjust your number of guests. So if you had 2 bunk beds, you can upgrade that to 8. This custom link here is very important. So let's say you've actually got a name for your property of Charming Retreat. This will be taken for sure. Oh, it's not. Okay, so you hit save. It is taken. So anyway, change that to a bunch of numbers on the back. So now this custom link, instead of having a really long Airbnb link, you just share this one and it's branded to your property. So this is what you want to use in your Instagram posts, your Facebook posts, pretty much any blogging website that you go and visit and ask them to put your link on. Make sure you use a custom link. Languages, self-explanatory. Listing status. So this is going to be, I won't have the option to change this until I verify my identity, I'd say, but this is self-explanatory. You change it from unlisted to listed. This is where you can amenities. So we're only given basic options earlier, right? So now they're on the back end, it gives you so many more options. Work your way through this list, guys. It is self-explanatory. And add them out as you see fit. Make sure you're accurate and make sure you very carefully go through these and don't include anything that's not included. It is the quickest way to having an unhappy guest. Be careful about the essentials. That's an easy one to fall into. If you say you do provide it when you're BYO linen and you didn't realize, you'll get into strife there. Even though they've got the bed linen option under here and you say no, I've had guests that get confused when I've said no there. But yes, we do provide soap, toilet paper, pillows, etc., but we just don't provide these two. And so now we just run all ours on no. Some properties we do offer linen, some we don't. Logistically, where we are, it's a bit tricky. So go through all these, update them all based on the area. Talk about the entertainment you got at the property, game console, all of these, again, self-explanatory. Add details about the TV, HD, the size is a 55-inch, and just talk about what you include with it. Then you've got your family area, child safety gates, very important. If you double story, top and bottom of stairs, you want to have them. Tableware, cot, maybe just a, we include pack and play travel cot at every single one of our listings. And they get used quite a bit and we get asked for them quite a bit. So just keep that in mind. Air conditioning, very handy to add those details. The guests always ask about this, heating and cooling, because that's a big thing for their comfort. So add as many details as there. Ceiling fans, yes, they're great. Just be mindful if you've got bunk beds in a room and you've got a ceiling fan, that's a bit of a safety hazard. So look into your local regulations on ceiling fans and bunk beds. Heating, yep, cool. If you've got gas, add it. Portable fans. And then you've got your safety here, which not much to elaborate there. Wi-Fi, you add your details here. Oh, sorry, no, you don't there. I'll show you on the back end where you add your username and password. My apologies. Kitchen, again, these are all the items that you can add into that listing description earlier, and you can also add them here. Do both. Location features. So we mentioned we had sea views. Do we have beach access? No, we don't. Lake access? No, no. Resort access? Is it ski in, ski out? No, it's not. Is it waterfront? No, it's not. You have a backyard? Yes, we do. So go through all these. Private, fully fenced. Why would someone want to know fully fenced if they bring their own dog? So you've got to figure out when you want to go pet friendly. And again, can just continue on through all of this. There's a lot here. I mean, it'll take you a little while, but it's self-explanatory. Once you're done, you can get out of amenities. And then you cover up your listing basics. This is where you can adjust your address. You can talk about the neighborhood, getting around. You can talk about the bus routes, the train routes, the public transport options. Location sharing, we already set that to off. You can talk about the scenic views the property has. So we said sea view, set that one. You can edit the property type here. Again, you can change it. Bathrooms too. What do we got? Categories. Okay, we've got to meet some certain requirements. So that'll probably come later on. Accessibility is a good one to add. If it's, if it's wheelchair friendly, definitely go through and add these all in. It's safety. All right, pricing and availability. Okay. Instant. You can also, this is where you also want to come back. You can change your instant book, by the way, guys, is here. Policies and rules. I'll go to calendar after this. So your cancellation policy, very important stuff. You will get more bookings the more flexible you are. However, when you approach peak seasons where you make the majority of your income, if they cancel, within 5 days out, and you don't get someone rebook, you've lost a good chunk of money. So I personally run from firm to strict. Again, this is totally up to you. What you can do if you're going to be in this for the long run is pilot it for 12 months and say, all right, I'm going to do moderate for 12 months, see what your bookings are like. If you had cancellations, write down how much you lost on those cancellations and no one rebooked, and then look at adjusting it. Long-term stay cancellation policy, pretty self-explanatory here. Strict, firm. Let's go strict and we'll just hit save here. All right, so these are your house rules. Pets allowed? No, they're not. Events allowed? No. Smoking and vaping? No. Commercial photography and filming? Yeah, we'll allow that. Quiet hours, usually from 10 p.m. Ends at 9 a.m. in the morning. You can adjust these to suit you. Check-in time, we run from 3. We run from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can change this to suit what you want to run. The reason we do 10 till 3 is we've got quite a few properties, and if we have same day changeovers, that extra hour really helps. So that's the check-in window. Sorry, from 3 to 11 p.m. people can check in. Check-out time is 10 a.m. Number of guests, already set that. Additional rules. So this is where you go detailed on your house rules. Thanks. Thank you for booking 3 bedroom holiday home. I hope you enjoy your stay, but please abide by the house rules. So it'd be things like no parties or large gatherings, no smoking at the property, no rubbish excess rubbish to be taken home. For long stays. So we mentioned this just to try and get people to do the right thing, because when it gets really busy, bins overflow and they just chuck everything in any bin. And so bins can be an issue. Um, so what else is there? Please park in driveway. If you've got neighbours around the area that park their cars on the street, so you want to be courteous to them, please park in driveway. Please observe quiet hours. Ensure the home is locked when not at the property. Please ensure the home is left neat and tidy upon checkout. There are a lot more things you can add to this, but this is just to get your thought process going. In another video, we can go over this in more detail, and I'll probably include a checklist for you guys to download. That's it. I'm going to run with that for now. So when we're screening guests, this is what we do. You can develop your own process, but we put a really detailed additional house rules in here. And some of the questions we'll ask people: thank you very much for your booking request. What is the purpose of your stay? Who is traveling with you? And have you read the house rules and are you comfortable with them? You know, if they are very descriptive in all three of those, then they're 95% of the way there. Come down to guest requirements. Absolutely always turn this on. So they have to have their standard requirements, which is confirmed phone number, email address, payment information. Very important to have payment information in case you need to raise a damage request to get money off them if they are very messy and the cleaner goes over by an hour, or if they damage something at the property. You also want to have a profile photo required, so turn that on. If you have any local laws or regulations, you're all over your local laws and regulations. Primary use of listing. So it's primarily set up for guests. All right, so now you're done there, you come over to, on the left-hand side here, to info for guests. You can have what they call a guidebook, which is what a guest can actually read when they book. So you can create one of these. There are other software packages out there to create these electronically, and you have a QR code at the property, and they're pretty cool. So you can talk about places, you can add neighborhoods or city advice, you know, book before you go, getting around. You can add the title of, don't miss. Look, it even gives you examples. Saturday's farmers market is a must. Get the train before 6 p.m. to avoid the rush. So these are nice touches. Yeah, cool. You've added this. So if you just preview this, didn't actually include anything too flash there, but you get the gist. I'm not going to go into the guidebook too much for now. Okay, you can add directions if you're in a bit of a tricky road, or in a tricky locations, and or if you're in a new estate. New estates are terrible for Google Maps sometimes, so you can be a bit more descriptive here. Wi-Fi details. This is what I mentioned initially when it took us through that first part. So Wi-Fi 2130 is the Wi-Fi name, password, hit save. House manual. So house manual is things that are property specific. So if you've got certain things that the guests need to know in order to maybe get hot water. So if you're in a rural area, for example, you've got mains and water tanks, which is a bit like us down here in South Australia. We have to include instructions on if the water runs out, switch valve on outdoor water tank to right hand angle and turn on pump. Turn off pump. The things can be like turn on hot water upon arrival and please turn it off when leaving. And you might have something else like wood or campfire is located in garden shed. So little things like that that the guests need to know to enjoy their stay and just general operation of the home. So just have to think about that. Gas bottles as well. Gas bottles located in shed for barbecues and things like that. Check-in method. I like to use a key safe at all of our properties. Include, okay, so key safe is located on pole near front door. Use code 21. Now, just be careful when I've just mentioned smart locks. Use these at your own risk. I've had these on a couple of properties up here that our homeowners have used, and they have been so problematic. We've had lightning storms here. The connection hasn't worked properly to Wi-Fi, so that numbers don't update. These have been nothing but problematic for us. If you find a bulletproof one, great, go for it there. But what I will suggest is have a manual lockbox there with the key to use manually in the smart lock in the event that it stuffs up anyway. Because there's nothing worse than your guests arriving at 11 o'clock at night saying, hey, the code you gave me on your smart lock's not working. How do I get in? Well, that's okay. You've got a backup. Here's a backup key, and they still get in. That's a very handy bit of advice for you. Yeah. Checkout instructions. These are very important. I like how it prompts you now. Return keys to lockbox and scramble code and instructions. And some more. If you provide linen, gather used towels together, used towels, place in laundry sink. So you just put out instructions. This is all very self-explanatory here, guys. Throw rubbish away, take rubbish to bin, place bins up street or collection. Additional requests. Please turn off all lights and empty the fridge of all food and belongings. Please empty dishwasher. Turn air conditioning. turn off aircon, lock all doors, windows, and have a safe trip. See, you can go into more detail there that's applicable to yours, but um, more that you can politely ask your guest to do, with less your plan has to do. So click Add Instruction. All right, that's your checkout done. So they all get this prior to checkout. All right, now co-hosts. You can add a co-host to your property. So if you're doing this, let's say as a joint venture with I don't know, your cousin or your mate or whatever, you can invite them as a co-host, or you can invite a co-host for someone that to do repetitive tasks like screening your guests and booking in cleaners. You would give them access here. You send them an email, click next. Anyway, I won't go too far more in this because I'd have to set up another dummy account. Um, and then it asks you what sort of access to give them. So you've got just calendar access and messages. You can add them, they can give them full admin access. So if you just want to put them on the basics, so they just do the basic sort of tasks, do that. You can also come here and remove them at any stage. So yeah. All right, now up the top here, guys, is your inbox. So when you start to get bookings come through, this is where you're going to be talking to your guests. You're going to be able to see their profile over here on the right-hand side, their previous reviews, where they're from, and contact details. Now, coming over to the calendar, this is probably one of the most important spots that you're going to be in on the long term. This is where you set your nightly rates. And so you set your nightly rates. Sorry, guys. So this calendar here is where you adjust your nightly rates. So if you've got public holiday coming up, you select 1, 2, 3. Well, it's no longer $200 a night, guys. It's going to be $350. And we'll hit save. You can also adjust the custom trip length. So it's a three night minimum. So we hit save because it's a long weekend. Okay. Now, what you can actually do here is add private notes. So let's say this is Adelaide public holiday. So you can add notes to this public holiday rate. Or if you're overseas or whatever, you got local public holidays, you can add it in, or school holiday rate. You can do all of that. So then when you come in here, you're like, oh, what did I change that for? Oh, okay, yep, cool. So then you're keeping notes and you're keeping organized. If you want to use the property for, let's say, a week, come in here, select the dates. We want to block those out. So no one can book during those dates. This is incredibly important if you plan to stay at the property. Before you go live, you want to block out all the dates that you had planned to visit your property as well, because if you forget to do that and you click live and someone books on those dates and you're like, oh no, what do I do? And you don't want to cancel bookings. I can tell you that now is one of the most important things you don't want to do. If your cancellation rate goes above 1%, it's going to be very hard for you to reach superhost status. So once you get to superhost and your cancellation goes above 1% cancellation, you lose it straight away. Airbnb also now charge you half the amount from memory. Just double check that's up to date still. I have never had to cancel, so I just haven't checked the amount, but I'm pretty sure it's 50% of the booking total that you actually will be out of pocket. So yeah, very important. So go through the entire year, Google public holidays and put in your suburb. and the year, and make sure you go through and adjust them accordingly to the dates that they provide, and look at other listings in the area and what their rates are so that you're comparable and you're competitive. Between Christmas and New Year's, one of the highest peak periods pretty much for every property. It's incredible how high you can go and how much people will pay in that period. So don't be shy to go more than what you think. If you're thinking, oh yeah, I'll probably get 400, well, maybe go 480 and just see how you go. If you don't get any bites 2 months out, all right. I haven't got any bites 6 weeks out. All right, now revise it and get a little bit more competitive. But I always like to start high and creep low until I find that sweet spot of maximum nightly rate and reasonable occupancy. So that is the calendar, guys. Pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, you got your view here. Everything is very user-friendly on the Airbnb platform and self-explanatory. This is where you can go to the yearly view and get a real good snapshot of where your bookings are and where you're at. And you can adjust pricing and things probably a little bit easier on this view if you want to do it all in one hit instead of the monthly view. So, alrighty. One thing, so that we like to have a 2-night minimum pretty much on all of our properties, but however you want to run yours is up to you. So that you used to be able to just go in and have a minimum nightly stay of 2 nights, and that was a rule, and you set it and it did it everywhere. So they want you to do it in the calendar now. So you just got to go through and highlight your whole year and do a 2-year minimum. It's a 2-year minimum. That'd be a nice one. But a 2-night minimum, and then hit update. Over here, you've got reservations. This is where all your reservations will come up, completed, and then cancelled will come up in this screen here. Again, it will be very self-explanatory for you to understand. You'll see the dates, the client's name. You'll also be able to go through and see your conversation with them in inbox. Come over to your earnings tab. So this will give you a snapshot of what you've made this month, and it'll also give you a snapshot on what you've got in the pipeline for the upcoming months. Again, you want to, depending on, this isn't applicable to me, but you want to set your currency. It'll usually do this at the time of setting up your profile. So just keep an eye on that. Payout settings. This is where you want to add your payment details. Do you want to get paid by Airbnb? They handle everything for you. So you can go through this process, bank account, pay. I don't like PayPal. There are fees that apply. I go to bank account. They disperse the funds pretty much within 24 hours once the guest has checked in, after the check-in time. So I like to do bank account. Again, any of these, your discretion. Follow the prompts. It is self-explanatory through here. So just follow this and go next. It'll prompt you the whole way. Can't go wrong. I'm not saying that. You never know what can happen. Guest contributions. This is where a guest can actually pay you additional tips or after their stay. So if you've dropped around to maybe do, I don't know, something extra, and they're like, oh, you know what, I'll send them a tip so they can give you a guest hosting. So that was the earnings. You've got Insights tab. Come over to your reviews. This is where all your reviews will come up. You want to keep a close eye on this. When your guests are about to check out, you want to prompt them if you're fairly confident they've had a faultless stay, you want to prompt them, I hope you've had a lovely stay. We'd be hugely grateful if you could please leave us a 5-star review if you felt we've earned it. You can't force them too much, but you can certainly politely prompt them. And you can say things like, and the cleaner mentioned the place is well looked after and will happily return the favour. So that's where all your reviews are. So this actually shows you how many views your property's had, your percentage of booking rate. I'll give you an idea on how many eyeballs there are on your listing, how many bookings you're getting. So if you're getting a heap of views, like, 500, 600 views in the last 30 days, you've only had a couple of bookings, something's up. You're likely too expensive, pretty much all that you can say, or you've got something else that might be wrong on your listing. So just go through and do another analysis on your run listing and see what might be going wrong. This is your superhost status and your progress. So these are the things you need to be all over. See what I mentioned about the cancellation rate? Can't go above. I'll click on this. Can't go above 1%. Very, very important. So you have to have completed 10 stays or 100 nights total booked. So you haven't met that criteria yet. You haven't responded to anyone. So you have to respond to, we have a 100% response rate. We usually respond within an hour across all 22 properties. So this is very important. Keep on that. Download the app on the phone. Be all over it. If you're busy, get a co-host virtual assistant that's available during, 7 days a week. You're only paying them to be, just respond to guests, create a frequently asked question list for them. So if there's anything property specific, they can just reference that list. But very important to maintain this. Superhost status is very important for your earnings. People search just for a superhost, so it can really help with your booking. So once you get up there, maintain it. Overall quality. So you get rated on value for money, cleanliness rating, location, guests, host communication, check-in process, check-out process, things like that. So you need to make sure you're all over every aspect of your Airbnb and short-term rental. Here are some listing issues. So this is where you'd be getting, let's say, a cleanliness rating of 3-star. It'll come up here and go, oh, this needs some work, or your response time is such and such. So it'll just give you an idea on what you need to work on. Opportunities will be self-explanatory. This will probably tell you exactly like, oh, make your property available for long-term stays, or add an early bird discount, or do this and do that. Everything in there they'll suggest to you. Not all of them are really that great in my opinion, but if you want to trial them and pilot them, go for it. See what works for you and your listing and your location. Overall, that is how you get up and list and get your property live on Airbnb. So let's quickly, before we end this video here, that's a bit of a long one, dry one, probably average editing here, but it shows you everything you need to know. So that is what your listing will look like once you've gone through the whole process. So it looks pretty cool, right? You've got your bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. That's the front of the property. You can drag that on your back end to make it your front end hero image. But you got sea view, kitchen, Wi-Fi, blah, 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 blah. No reviews. Shows you the approximate location, not the exact. Bit info about you. And they can actually contact you if they've got any pre-stay inquiries. These are your house rules, 6 guests, safety, cancellation policy. Everything's listed that we set up on the back end, on the front end. So, yes, pretty sure that's everything I really need to show you guys to get up and started. Okay, I beg your pardon, I tell a lie. Jumping back here, my apologies, back under property and rooms, you want to go to this here, bedroom, full bathroom, etc. You can add some extra areas that might be applicable. So if you've got a garage, you can add some other areas here. Now, what it also does in this area, you add the sleeping arrangements for each room. Bedroom 1 is a queen bedroom. Bedroom 2 is a queen. Bedroom 3 is a queen. 3 queens. Cool. That's all done. No sleeping arrangements anywhere else on the property. Now, this is where you add your photos of each room. All right, so this one's the master bedroom. Bedroom number 2. We hit save. Bedroom 3, that one there. Don't have any of the bathroom. I didn't upload any. Kitchen. These are all fake images, by the way, but just using them for the tutorial. Backyard, garage, exterior. That's the front of the home. Click next. All right, so what does that do? I'll show you. See how this has popped up here, which looks much better, I might add. And go through and gives you an idea. Oh, okay, bedroom 1. Oh, that's great. Bedroom 3. That's where people are going to sleep. When you click on the image as well, it actually shows you in more detail here. So you get the full kitchen, descriptive, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, additional photos. So if you had, laundry, outdoor living, blah, 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 you'd add all those images to those respective areas. So yeah, that's that part there. That's pretty much everything, guys. Sorry, I skipped over that one, but covered off on it. That will get you up and running. That will get you out and accessible to guests. Once you're all done, you click on here and you click listed and go live. And once you've verified your identity, if you've got value out of today, guys, please hit that bell icon, give me a like, a subscribe, and I will continue to give as much value as I can in all the upcoming videos.